Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod is proud to support community TV and the Dukes of Sports. Some of the refreshing and satisfying products offered by Coca-Cola are Coke, Diet Coke, Coke Zero, Sprite, Fanta, Dr. Pepper, Moxie, Dasani Water, Powerade, Minute Maid Juices, Vitamin Water, Fuse, V8, and Honest Tea. 125 years and still teaching the world to sing.
Kinlan Grover Real Estate sells and lists more property than any other real estate company on Cape Cod and is pleased to support community television and the Dukes of Sports. With 15 offices from the Canal to Provincetown, our experienced and professional agents get the job done whether you are buying or selling. We also offer summer vacation rentals and can assist in mortgage financing, serving the most buyers and sellers across the entire Cape. Check us out at kinlangrover.com.
Heritage Floor Covering located in Heritage Park off Route 130 Sandwich. When you look down, we look good. Carpet, vinyl, tile, and laminates, sales, service, and installation. 40 years of experience. Browse our spacious and extensive showroom. Cheryl and Russell are fully insured and offer free estimates. We sell the best and you pay less. 508-833-7600.
Welcome to the Dukes of Sports. I'm Randy Lively with
Andrew Eaton.
And welcome. We'll be with you for the next hour talking sports. What else?
Talking sports.
I suppose we ought to start off with the big story, huh? Red Sox traded their shortstop.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they did.
Did they really?
Yeah, they traded Scudero to Colorado to free up some money.
Did we get someone?
Not yet. Well, yeah, we got a pitcher. But with the money saved, they think they might have a shot at maybe signing Oswald.
But that's a pitcher still.
Yeah.
We now need a shortstop.
Right.
Don't we? Okay. Because Lowry's gone too, isn't he?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll trust in.
Well, they got two guys that I think combined have played maybe 100 games at shortstop. So.
Oh, jeez, they're really banking on
Iglesias or Julio Iglesias.
I saw him in AAA last season. He wasn't that good.
He can't hit.
No, that's the thing. He's a good fielder. But
yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, yeah.
But there was some football.
There was some football.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I think that as much of a Patriots fan as I am, they had no business winning that game. But I'll take it because I'll take luck. They're in the Super Bowl. I'm happy.
I don't think the Giants necessarily should be real happy with how they won either.
I know.
I
don't
teams,
think so.
Both teams were lucky.
They were.
And I don't think either one should at all be satisfied with how they played this past weekend. They better not play that way in the Super Bowl or one of them's going to get stomped.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And the interesting thing is they threw up some numbers last night in the San Francisco Giants game. Mm-hmm. All right? And not the baseball team, to be confused.
I don't think they were playing last night.
No, I don't think so. The Niners and Giants game, I guess I could have worded that. But they put up some numbers comparing Eli to Peyton. And you know that though Peyton has played in more playoff games, who's been better in the playoffs by numbers?
Well, numbers, you can make them.
Yeah, no, I know.
Make them say what you want sometimes.
He's got a better winning percentage. He's 6-3, where Peyton's 9-10. And what was it? He has.
Yeah, but all that means is he hasn't got his team to the playoffs as much as Peyton did.
No, he hasn't played as long as Peyton has.
Peyton had a real nice commercial. Did you catch that?
I did. I
actually liked that one.
Actually, because
guys got to work.
I loved it, and with the Bettis,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it was great. It's the only one of his that I've really liked. I thought, hey, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was good. And it was actually funny because I've been hearing that, there's no Peyton Manning commercials, and you haven't seen Peyton at all. And
No, you haven't.
And then you haven't, and then all of a sudden, now, there he is.
No, but they did a good job.
He didn't look good, though. He looks like he's
What?
still
Nobody
hurt.
tackled him. I mean, how would you know how he?
I don't mean playing football-wise. I just mean period. Like, his head was kind of cocked to the side, and he looked hurting still.
Oh, I mean, like when they operated on his neck, they didn't line it up
Oh,
right.
they might not have lined it up. I don't know. Now, I actually, on that point, while we're still talking about that, is I heard a rumor that there's a slight possibility that Peyton may go to the Jets.
Great.
I don't know how you feel about that, but they need a quarterback and they need a
Oh,
decent.
you think Rex Ryan's given up on his
He's pretty much said it, I think, hasn't he?
out-of-wed child, Mark Sanchez there.
Sanchez, he did worthless this year.
Well, you can't blame him. The whole team,
No.
they weren't as good defensively. The running game wasn't as good. Sanchez was meh. So if you're going to point fingers, I think you start with the coaching staff. Mm-hmm. I mean, Jets are known in Ryan for his defense.
Yeah.
Defense was average, maybe. But that's what he's not known. They're not known to be average.
Okay.
And they were known to have a real hard smash mouth running game.
Yeah.
They didn't have that. So
No, and I mean LT. I mean, what did he
with
do?
a lot of the same players.
Yeah, it's
so
true.
I mean, the
true.
whole team was. Right from top to bottom, they've got to be very, very disappointed in their effort.
Absolutely, and
What a pity.
yeah, I know it's so sad, isn't it? I was so hoping that the Jets would make the playoffs.
Well, just so the Patriots could beat them.
Well, that would be nice.
Yeah.
That would have been nice. But they wouldn't have made it very far, even if they had
No.
snuck in.
Not this year.
Who they would have played? They would have replaced the Bengals and played Texas in the first round. And I mean, as good as Texas looked in that game, I don't think the Jets would have had a prayer.
No, well, I mean, they were what, 8-8?
No, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yes.
Well, I don't know.
Well, if they were in the West,
Yeah, who someone did make it in at 8-8, didn't they? Again
Denver.
this year?
Yeah, look what happened to them.
Denver, that's right.
same thing probably would have happened to the Jets.
Rob, our director,
What?
you haven't hit mute on your mic and we can hear you. The red light should be on. Okay. Maybe you're just loud. Sorry, Mr. Director.
Yeah, wait till you see what happens to your
I
mic
know,
now. Your volume's going way down.
Okay. Sorry about that. And Denver made it an 8-8. You're right. And it was Seattle last year, was it? 2 years ago?
Yeah,
No, it was last
yeah,
year. It was last year.
yeah.
They made it in with a 7-9 record, I
Yeah.
think. But anyway, we should be talking about the actual games that matter at this point.
All
And
right.
that was, we'll start with the first game and the Patriots, and then facing the Ravens. And I said, like I said earlier, it was surprising that they won. Believe me,
I was surprised they were
happy.
7.5-point favorites.
I know that was surprising.
The early line is they're 3.5 for the Super Bowl.
Are they considered the home team? Is that why?
I don't know.
I guess they play there more, so they might have home field advantage. In a
Yeah,
sense.
I don't think that it's going to play into it a whole lot. But
Eli's going to the house that Peyton built.
yes, but I don't know. I mean, I only thought two players on the Patriots consistently performed well: Vince Wilfork and Ben Jarvis Green Ellis.
Absolutely, he had more yards than Ray Rice.
Yeah,
when it was all said and done.
he did okay.
Yeah,
and Wilfork.
I mean, you look at that, and it just mind-boggling. We make an interception, beautiful interception by Brandon Spikes.
Yeah.
Brandon Spikes.
Yeah.
And what did they do? They throw deep. He goes for an 80-yard pass or something ridiculous like that. Like, what the hell was he doing?
I don't have a problem with throwing deep. I think
I don't have
you
a
should.
problem with throwing deep.
But he threw deep into double coverage.
In that situation,
He should not have thrown deep. Why not? I mean, it was so close. It was 6 minutes or something left in the fourth quarter. Ben Jarvis Green Ellis is giving us the first down.
Yeah.
Every couple downs. Why not just keep running the clock out and waste time and then score a touchdown and be up by 10 instead of, I think we were up by 3 still at that point. I don't remember now exactly how the scoring was.
I'm pretty sure.
Regardless, I mean, if he doesn't throw deep, they don't get picked. They don't. They kick a field goal, I think, at that point.
Well, I mean, there's probably lots of plays you can go if they.
But that was a big one.
If he had hit a wide open Gronkowski earlier in the game for a gimme touchdown.
There was that, and there was that one play that Gronkowski was called out of bounds, and he wasn't. I'm screaming at the TV.
Rob was talking about that.
Challenge.
I don't know if they thought that he had enough control with that first step or what, because he didn't argue. Gronkowski didn't argue at all. I mean, nobody else.
Doesn't. Nobody on the Patriots really argues.
Oh, they do. You'll see Brady.
Well, Brady's an exception. Brady's always an exception.
But nobody was putting up any kind of a stink. But even that. But the other one was a gimme touchdown.
Yeah.
Wide open. And
But Tom Brady said it best himself. He sucked.
He did.
He sucked. And
actually, Flacco probably outplayed him.
I think
scary.
He did. I know, and that's of the 4 quarterbacks that were playing yesterday. I thought he was the worst.
Yeah, Alex Smith wasn't all that.
The difference is Alex Smith can still run for 100 yards.
Yeah, that was impressive.
I don't think he hit 100 yards, but
at one point he had 60 something.
Yeah. So. He actually was the leading rusher in a game in the playoffs. I think it was against the Saints, maybe. Because he was mostly passing in that game, so it wasn't hard.
I don't know.
But, I don't remember that, but
Brady
I heard someone saying that.
He stunk.
He was terrible. And then, so switching gears now, going to the Niners-Giants game, and I'm surprised the score was as high as it was. That they scored 2 touchdowns. I thought it would be maybe a touchdown apiece, and it would just be all field goals.
Yeah.
I think I put it on the Facebook page. That I was pretty sure that it was going to come down to the kickers, and Akers versus Tynes, it was no contest. And it did end up coming down to the kicker. The difference was it was on a muffed punt, or fumbled punt, sorry. And, they're in field goal position. So.
I feel sorry for that punt returner.
Yeah, well,
he literally cost them the game.
He did, twice. Really, it was the tying
on
and
the
the
bouncing
winning.
punt. He should have been nowhere near the ball.
Nope, not anywhere
if he was
close.
going to let it bounce, get away from it.
He's a rookie, though, too.
Yeah.
In his defense, at least, he's...
he's allowed to be stupid.
No, he's not allowed to be stupid necessarily, but he's more likely to make those kind of dumb mistakes, because he's not used to it. And I don't know, did he return any punts at all during the season? This was the first time.
I haven't watched a lot of 49er games.
No, I didn't either, but it was usually Ginn.
But they didn't have anybody else on that team besides Ginn that was capable of fielding a punt?
And I guess that's where, as injury-prone as he is, maybe Braylon Edwards would have been a good spot for, throw him in the punt return. He holds on to the ball. Because the Patriots will
switch up guys.
Yeah, Crabtree. Well, yeah, Welker had that muffed punt that luckily went out of bounds. But
but they have Welker, they have Edelman.
They have Edelman. They have...
And a pinch, you can even put Falk back there.
Slater. He backs up. He backs up Woodhead on kickoffs. So, he can run, apparently, at least hold on to the ball. You could even put Woodhead in punt returns. I don't know how well he'd do catching the punts, but...
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know. Usually it's between Welker and Edelman, though.
But, that's, a lot of pressure for a rookie.
I know, it definitely is. So, was...
you got to feel for the guy. He literally cost him the game.
Seeing him on the sideline.
And even that second, after the muff, then the fumble, and the arm got in there, but that wasn't, he couldn't have had a real tight grip on that ball.
He must not have, because it didn't look like he was trying to strip the ball. It looked like he was trying to tackle.
He hit him like on the upper arm, and boom, out comes the ball. Jeez, that wasn't that bad of a hit.
No, it didn't look like it.
They just literally gave him the game. It was too bad.
It was. I did think the Niners were going to take it.
Because, they should have.
They should have.
Those 2 plays were the game, I think, for sure. And Eli,
he did pretty well. Considering he was going up against the best defense in the league.
He did better earlier than he did later.
Which is
there was a time where, in that first quarter, he was picking up 3rd and longs like there was no tomorrow.
Well, actually, I saw a stat about that, and I think that was a big key to the game is actually the Giants were only 2 for 13 in the game on 3rd down conversions.
No. That's got to be wrong.
That's what they pulled up on Fox, I'm pretty sure.
Well, you go get your little blackberry, blueberry, whatever berry.
Maybe God can help us out.
But
I know that...
No, he picked up, in the first quarter, he picked up, I think, 5 in a row.
3rd downs?
Yeah.
I don't know about 3rd downs.
Oh, God, where's your money? Come on, get it out.
Get it out. I'm not gambling on it. I know the Niners only did 1 for 13.
I don't know. Did they get that many? Because last I knew they were 0 for 11.
Yeah. I think they were 1 for... Because I think they put the stat up and they said it was 1 for 12. And then they didn't get it on that 3rd down. I'm pretty sure that's what Fox put up there. I'm basing it on
Fox
that.
Put up there. I'm saying he had at least 5 early in the game. Mm-hmm. And, I'll match my salary against yours. Of course, I'm retired. I don't make any money. But it wouldn't matter because I wouldn't lose that bet anyways.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully they'll get back to us.
I'll bet the ranch on that one.
I was...
Hey, what?
All right, here we go.
New York, 7 for 21 on 3rd down. San Francisco, 1 for...
What was it, the second half?
13.
It must have been the second
half they were lousy.
Was it second half they were 2 for 13? Can you see that stat?
We'll take a look. Keep talking.
All right. All right. I'm just saying that Fox put a number up there.
Well, it's Fox.
My wife was in bed.
There you go, right off the bat.
Well,
Fox.
I know. I hate Joe Buck. I really do, with a passion. But
what did he ever do to you?
He's a Yankees fan.
Whatever Eli ever do to me, I can't stand.
He's a Yankees fan and a Cardinals fan in baseball. You know that? Because his dad he got his start calling the Yankees, and his dad got his start calling the Cardinals. Or not his start, his career was calling the Cardinals.
It's funny how, because there's a guy that broadcasts, Kenny Albert. Now, is he Marv Albert's son?
I don't know that.
So, anyway.
Yes, he is.
All right, thank you.
There we go. Okay.
God, it's great to have a voice from above.
It's nice. We should be T-bowing before the...
Yeah. So... But anyways, I think both the Giants and the Patriots got a lot of work to do in a couple of weeks.
They do. And talking to that fact, now
let's satisfied with.
We'll talk more about the Super Bowl next week, I'm sure. After all, we do have one more episode before the Super Bowl, but
we could talk to Pro Bowl.
We'll talk and just say, and the AFC won by 3 points. It was exciting all the way up to the 120 points combined.
Yeah, it's like the hockey All-Star game. There was no defense.
Well, and I guess I'd be more inclined to watch it if it was in the middle of the season and actually meant something like the baseball All-Star game. Even the hockey All-Star game, it's fun to watch because they have the shootouts and stuff like that. Yeah. But what are you going to do, a combine?
But you have it before the Super Bowl, which eliminates a whole bunch of very good players.
5 offensive Patriots there.
From being in the game.
Tom Brady was the starting quarterback.
Yeah, so...
I don't even know who the backup is on the AFC. Right? Rivers,
Sanchez.
maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
I think it might be Rivers, but it doesn't matter because it's the Pro Bowl and no one cares. When they had it the week after, at least some people tuned in because they could watch the Super Bowl winning team come out and they did this whole special presentation and it was fun. It's just, it still didn't matter though. And so many of the guys were like, I'm not playing that game. I'm going on vacation with my family.
A lot of times they're down to for certain positions, they're down to the third choice, you know, because they go, hey, you made the Super Bowl. Great, thanks.
I don't think
Give it to
Brady's
somebody else.
Ever played in the Pro Bowl. He's been selected to a few.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing he probably made at least one.
He probably did his first.
Free trip to Hawaii.
I think he played in his first one because they still had it after the Super Bowl at that point.
Yeah. But no, I think there's a lot of work to be done by both teams. I think they're both lucky to be in there. And, luck is, not a bad thing.
No.
But you don't want to be rolling that dice. So, what are the odds that Brady's going to stink 2 weeks in a row?
Slim to none.
You hope. But, we have these bad memories of 2007 season.
Yep.
The perfect Patriots going into the Super Bowl.
But at least they weren't perfect this year. So there's a little less pressure on them, which I think helps.
But I just remember what that Giants defense did to him until maybe the fourth quarter. I mean, it was ugly.
But look at the Giants defense then and the Giants defense now. Yeah, they've been picking it up for the postseason.
I'll take the Giants defense over the Patriots defense.
Even last night?
Yeah.
And what they did? I liked what they were doing. Maybe it was Joe Flacco and the Baltimore offense played just as poorly as the Patriots defense.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and
they
offense
did
played as good as the
great
defense.
job of eliminating Ray Rice. I mean, he was pretty much a non-factor.
Right, which was necessary.
I think he had one
Giants
12-yard gain or something, and that was it.
Well, the Giants don't have a great run game. I mean, Jacobs did all right in my fantasy league. He scored touchdowns.
They
he
can
just barrel through. But
the Giants' run game, to me, is potentially good, but you don't know what the hell's going to happen from 1 week to the next. Now, the passing game, unless the Patriots put a lot of pressure on Eli, you got Nix, you got Cruz, you got, Manningham?
Manningham, yeah.
And throw in a tight end.
The tight end that scored.
Not too bad.
No, they have a pretty good receiving
how do
core,
those match up against the Patriots? I would
we
say...
have the two tight ends that are pretty much wide receivers, which helps. So
Right.
Hernandez and Gronkowski.
But if you've got Manningham...
Oh, you're talking about the Pats D.
No, Patriots receivers. Manningham, Nix, and Cruz.
Yeah.
All right. Where would you throw Deion Branch in there? Better than any of those? As good as? Worse?
Oh, Branch?
Yeah.
I might give him... Well, I don't know. During the regular season, Manningham was kind of nuts. But in the playoffs, he and Branch have been almost equal. I would give Manningham the slight edge.
All right. So close to a wash.
All right, call it a wash.
All right. Then you got Cruz and Welker.
Wow. That's tough. I mean, you've got the leading reception and wide receiver yards, didn't he? No. Calvin Johnson got the yards, I think. But they were close. I mean, he had more receptions for sure.
Yeah, a lot of short passes.
Yeah, it was.
Over the middle.
I guess
Cruz can do either one.
I guess Cruz is a deeper threat. He can go deep and catch the ball and then be gone. So I guess
more consistently. I mean, Welker occasionally gets deep, but it's almost by accident.
Yeah, but I think Welker had more touchdowns.
Really? He didn't have a whole lot.
No, he didn't have a whole. Well, Cruz didn't take off until mid-season either.
Right.
So I mean, I had them both on my fantasy team. So I'm just trying to think in terms of that. But no, I'd probably have to give the edge to Cruz at this point, especially looking at playoff numbers.
I mean, I think I would give the edge to Welker as a possession third down receiver.
All right.
Over Cruz, but I think Cruz potentially, as you said, can do more. Then you've got, all right, let's say Nix and Hernandez. Because we're not putting Ochocinco into this.
He wasn't inactive yesterday.
I know.
I don't know. Nix and I'd have to give the edge to Hernandez, I think, on that one.
Really?
I think I would, just because like yards after catch, I think Hernandez is going to just plow through guys and get an extra 5 yards more than what Nix could do. Nix might catch more. He'd be more like a Welker in that sense. He'd have more receptions maybe, but probably not the yards or touchdowns that Hernandez has.
Go to tight end, the regular tight end, Gronkowski versus whoever, obviously big edge to the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to say, as far as receivers go, I'd have to get the edge to the Patriots.
Yeah, I think it's pretty close. I mean, if there's an edge, it's anywhere it's in the tight end position.
Yeah.
If you're close with the other 3, then Gronkowski puts you over the top.
Yeah.
But the other 3, I think, are
yeah.
All
right.
They've got some different abilities.
Then again, you've also got Edelman again, and you've got Slater, who's gone in a couple times, and you've got that guy with the Underwood, thank you, with the kid haircut. From
Number
Kid and
10 in your catalog or your program. But yeah, although Edelman might catch a pass, I mean, he just doesn't get a lot.
Well, no, because they put him in more defense. Him and Slater both.
Yeah, well, Slater, I think, has caught 1 pass this year.
Yeah.
But okay, so let's flip it around.
All right, flip it.
Giants secondary covering Patriots.
Hey, let me break in here for a second.
Yeah.
What?
Victor Cruz,
Yeah.
82 receptions, 1,500 yards, 9 touchdowns. Welker, 122 receptions, 1,500 yards, 9 touchdowns.
Wow, so they're actually equal in touchdowns.
But not in yards per catch, that's for damn sure.
Yards or receptions. But again, Cruz really did nothing in the first 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
And you add those, and I mean, if he's getting 10 receptions a game, they're pretty close probably. Maybe not yards.
Maybe. I mean, you got.
What was Welker's yards again?
They were close. I think Rob said they're both around 1,500.
So, I mean, it was just the receptions, really.
Well, yeah, but that's a big difference.
Yards are both the same.
Yards are about the same.
but there's 40 more receptions for Welker in there.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is Welker missed 1 game, I think, and Cruz, he might have played, but, I mean, Eli wasn't throwing to him for sure.
Yeah.
If he did that, if it was 4 weeks, until Cruz really did anything, if he gets an average of even 8 yards a game times the 4, that's 32. I mean, that's close.
Oh, yeah, but then those yards are probably going to be, it ain't going to be 1,500 yards anymore.
No, not anymore. So I guess between Cruz and Welker, you got to give Cruz the edge. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's
all right.
Scary.
So,
but yes, all right. So you go to the secondary. You were saying.
All right. So you got the Giants secondary versus the Patriots receivers, and vice versa. Patriots secondary versus Giants receivers.
Well, here's my thing.
What's your thing?
You're
I want to
ragging.
know what you think.
I know you want to know what my thing.
Tell
is.
me what.
So
I really want to know.
You're ragging on the Pats.
Ragging?
Ragging. I'm not even talking Eli yet. I can't use the language that you give to Eli. But no, the Patriots secondary, yes, it was terrible in the regular season, but they've looked pretty good in the playoffs thus far. It's only been 2 games.
They're going against Tebow and Flacco, not against the almighty Eli, as you like to refer to him as.
Once again, I just think he's better than Peyton. I don't like him. I don't like that my son's name goes. I go call him Eli, and then whenever he's on the TV, I get confused. I'm sorry, I don't get confused. My son gets confused because I'm going, "Damn it, Eli!" And he's like, he just looks at me very concerned.
Your son is named Eli?
He's Elijah.
I think.
He's Elijah.
I think that pretty much says it all.
Oh,
you named him after Eli Manning.
My wife.
Wow.
My wife is saying to me, she's like, "Well, if we have another boy, I like the name Peyton." And I just looked at her and I just said, "There is no way in hell. It's bad enough we have one son named after a Manning."
Yeah, and then your third could be Archibald.
Right, it's. Was he an Archibald? I thought he was just
don't know.
Archie. But
Well, look, if your name was Archibald, would you go by Archie?
that's true. I would
really.
go by Archie. But no, okay. Talking about the Patriots defense, they have played well, and Tebow made the Bears defense look silly, and the Bears defense was actually okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not counting them out, and they're best in pass coverage lately. The deep passes, not so much. You know, that's where it's a threat, and that's where Cruz and Nix really concern me because they can be a deep threat, and we have no safeties. But the little drop and screens and little things that they do, the short passes that Eli does like to do as well as Brady.
Yeah.
I think they'll be fine. You know, you got Arrington in there who did still tie the league, and he hasn't had an interception in probably 3 months now.
Yep,
I mean,
yep.
he hit 7 receptions in week 8 and just didn't do anything the rest of the season. So I mean, if he can get back to where he was, we've got Chung back. We've got Spike's doing all right. He got a pick on Flacco, and yes, it is just Flacco.
But no,
But-
good pick.
You know, it was a great pick. And then our pass rush, you know, you bring that in. I like him. I do. I mean, Will Fork, if he has another game like he had, if he can get even one more sack in there, he has 2 sacks himself, then
Oh yeah, no, he was
great.
he was a force.
So now let's look at the Giants defense. Their pass rush is still phenomenal. There's no question about that. They get through, they get the sacks, and they force fumbles. And that's
all.
all. I'm not saying that they're just okay. I'm saying they're great.
Yeah.
They do everything they need to do. But I couldn't name a single linebacker. Webb, because he did something yesterday. But, you know,
Well,
most defenses I can name at least one guy.
Well, if you were a big Giants fan
I'm sure.
like your best friend there, Danny Bell,
I'm trying to get him on the show next
you
week.
probably. Oh, I think I'm going to be out of town. No, anyways, fine, bring him on. Tell him to bring a shovel. But
For those not in the know, we have a Facebook page, facebook.com/Dukes of Sports, and another worker here at Sandwich Community Television. He does our school committee meetings. He admitted that he was a Giants fan before he was a Patriots fan. And Randy and he have been going back and forth. It's been quite entertaining. You can look at our Facebook page and see all that stuff. Continue.
yeah, but I was going to say, if you're a diehard Giants fan,
Yes.
you may not be able to name a Patriots linebacker.
True enough. And I suppose maybe they know Spikes now because he made that interception.
Yeah,
last
I mean,
week,
Mayo
but
was probably the one that.
Mayo people.
Might.
Yeah. It was really Merriweather is the guy everyone knew, and we cut him.
Yeah,
Mayo led the league in tackles last year, Pro Bowler.
there
Who
you
did,
go.
Mayo? Yeah. No, Mayo was good last year.
But no,
He
they.
just didn't do much this season.
But no, I mean, they've got some guys. I mean, Nikovich can get after the passer. He can defend a little bit.
Ninkovich is.
Fletcher hasn't been getting a whole lot of playing time. He's been in and out. But
I bet he will now.
why? Because we mentioned it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it was him. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was Sterling Moore. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm getting my guys confused.
No, okay, go ahead. Now we're getting off track, but that never
okay.
stops us. He made a great play
Sterling Moore.
in the end zone against
Phenomenal.
Lee Evans. You know, or you could say Lee Evans made a terrible play one way or the other. I'll go great play.
I don't think Lee Evans made a terrible play. I think he made a mistake. By not
he
just
wasn't paying attention
yeah,
enough.
by not just going to the
securing
ground.
that
and-
ball.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know, you do that, chances are that's the game, if that's completed. Now, the play afterwards, I think that was a second down play.
Sounds
Play
right.
afterwards, where Flacco was scrambling, was off to his right, threw to his right, poor pass.
Mm-hmm.
But it sure looked to me in replays that they could very easily have called pass interference on Moore on that play.
On the third down?
Yeah, the incomplete, not the touchdown one, or that would have been touchdown. The play afterwards, which was incomplete, which made him go for the field goal. because I saw things and I saw hands wrapped around bodies that I didn't think you were supposed to be doing.
If they have their hands on the ball, I don't recall that play.
No, this is why
exactly.
Flacco was running around. And so, the receivers at that point
Right.
are trying to come back to the quarterback.
But I thought it wasn't even close. It wasn't even a catchable ball, was it?
That was a lousy pass.
Well, if it's not catchable, then it's a moot point.
Well, it depends. I mean, some of those refs will throw it in,
That's true.
Uh,
But if it was a
But I think
catchable ball, maybe he would have been called
got
on it,
away with a little bit there, but then you
Possibly.
get to the kick. But again, so we're talking about what the hell were we talking?
We were talking about receiving core versus secondary,
All right.
Pats, Giants.
Yeah. So do you think? Yeah. So we're back to the Patriots secondary.
Okay. So you want to know what
Defending.
my take is on
I'm just asking your opinion.
my opinion.
Not that I really care, but I'm just trying to be.
Opinion, isn't that about the same thing?
I'm just trying to be.
All right. So the way the Patriots defense has been stepping up when they need to, and they'll need to for the whole game.
3 downs.
At least 3 downs.
No, but you can't, stop them on first and second and go to sleep
And
on
then
third.
go to sleep on third. No, especially if they're, going 17 for 24, whatever the hell it was. But
It was 7 for 21.
whatever.
But at first it
That's-
was like 5 out of 6 or something.
They
was
did really well in the
ridiculous.
first
Yeah.
half.
So, anyways, go ahead.
I don't think that. I think it's going to boil down to is less about the receivers and the secondary in the versus the receiving core. I think it's going to come down to who's going to get through the line and who's going to hit the quarterback more.
Well, absolutely. I mean, a good pass rush helps your secondary
Absolutely.
a whole lot.
Well, yeah, because if the ball doesn't get thrown, then they have less
So
work.
are they capable of having a good pass rush consistently?
Yes.
Because you saw how many times he's been firing the ball up.
Yeah.
So there's probably going to be a lot of that nonsense going on in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And so can they rush him? Can they consistently get pressure 3 downs in a row throughout the game?
My opinion would be yes. I think they can. I think with the defensive mind of Bill Belichick, he will come up with some unique plays that no one's seen before. And I think that's the big difference between this season, this Super Bowl, and 4 years ago when we lost to the Giants. Because we were undefeated, and Belichick probably got a little lazy. You wouldn't think so, but this is my assumption. This is my opinion. But he just said, "Well, this has been working. We're going to keep doing it." Whereas we saw the Giants in the second to last game or last game of the season. It was right at the end there, and they played us really well. Not as well as the Ravens did that season, but that's a whole nother story. And they just kept trying to do the same thing that they had been doing all season long. Whereas they saw the Giants and was what's his name, the coach at that point 4 years ago still?
Coughlin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was. Okay, so Coughlin, or his coordinators at least, said, well, you know what? We did this really well, but let's try this. And they tried new plays, and it worked. I mean, sure, there was a lucky grab in there against the helmet, and there's no way fans or buts that was a lucky grab. But, that won the game for them. But comparing the two teams, the two Patriots teams, no, the defense isn't quite as good as it was 4 years ago. But I think the offense is better. And looking at the Giants' defense, I don't think it was as good as it was 4 years ago. And I'll even give them the offense may be a little better as well. It's going to be a close game. But I think the Patriots have what it takes. I think the Patriots' offense versus the Giants' defense is going to do better than the Giants' offense versus the Patriots' defense.
This year's Patriots offense is better than the one in 2007 where Brady threw 50 touchdown passes and Randy Moss shattered touchdown receiving records. And
I don't think we have the deep threat that we did then.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. Randy Moss was a huge asset. But I honestly think so. And the other key is the running game. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis has been in the league for 6 years, 5 years, 5 years, give or
4 or
take.
5 for sure.
Yeah.
Never fumbled.
Never fumbled. Never.
Yeah, I mean, he's never gotten a whole lot of carries. Maybe
No,
last
he
year was
doesn't.
the one year he did.
Well, and that's the key, I think, is you got to be able. You can't put the whole game on Brady like they did yesterday. I mean,
Yeah, but
Green
they
Ellis,
tend to do that.
they do, and they need to stop. If they can get a few good runs, especially in the fourth quarter, you don't go for these deep passes unless we're way behind or behind at all. You know, if we're up even by 3 points, keep it on the ground. We've got phenomenal running backs. No, they're not elite. They're not Arian Fosters and Ray Rices, but they're better than Bradshaw and Jacobs. I mean, even throwing Hernandez in as a fullback it worked against the Broncos.
Well,
it didn't
yeah,
work
but-
well yesterday, but
No, but that's a little risky. I'd rather see
it's
him.
risky. But we've got Gronkowski in the tight end position.
Yeah.
So I mean, as long as Gronkowski stays healthy, why not throw Hernandez in as fullback, even just to block for Green
Okay,
Ellis?
as a blocker, fine.
Absolutely, but we have those options. We didn't have those 4 years
Yeah.
ago. We were a pretty one-dimensional team. It was pass, 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 pass. Then we're going to pass, then pass, throw a run play, and pass again.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I think, and the Patriots aren't the only team guilty of this. You'll see them have good success with a drive of running the ball,
yeah,
and then they totally get away from it. I mean, sometimes totally. You see, they don't even try to run the ball. You think, you know, I guess I subscribe to a theory that if something's working,
if it ain't broke, don't
make
fix
them
it.
make them stop you before you abandon it. Otherwise, you're
Okay.
doing them a favor.
No, I see your point,
Because
but
yesterday, even with the running game, I noticed Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, the law firm,
yeah,
had pretty good success running close to up the middle or off to the left.
yep,
And he or even Woodhead, when they went right, not so much.
yeah.
But they kept trying to go right. You know, and
Yeah.
I thought, Jesus,
Well,
go back to what was working.
Yes,
You know,
and that's where Ridley could be a huge asset, and he was inactive yesterday as
You know,
well.
he got sent to stand in the corner because of that fumble the week before, late
Yeah.
in the game.
That's true. Well, no, I think his
Although I bet you
father
Wo-
or his grandfather passed away, actually.
I bet you Woodhead isn't going to get sat down for the Super Bowl because he fumbled a or a kickoff return.
Yeah, well,
Hey,
at least
we
they were
just
close.
found-
What?
We just found another fan that was a Giants fan that turned into a Patriots fan. His name was Bill Belichick.
Yeah, and then he became Belichick, you said.
That's all right. He's getting paid for it. He's got a good reason.
It is. He wasn't a head coach of the Giants, though, was he?
No. Well, no, he could have been with the Jets.
Right.
He was for a day
Okay.
with the Jets.
Well, you could also make the same argument about Parcells. He came from the Jets. No, he went from the Giants to the Patriots to the Jets to the Cowboys or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he retired between Giants and Patriots, one of his little short retirements or something. I don't remember.
No, I think it was between Jets and Cowboys he retired.
And then, he got the Patriots to the Super Bowl, and then, while the team was flying back, he was making arrangements to leave for the Jets,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he didn't even
basically.
fly back with the team.
No, right. I
Dirt
mean, that's the tuna. Um,
So, I don't know. I mean, I think it's going to be a dogfight.
it will be. It will be.
And I think maybe the deciding factor. You want to hear it?
I want to hear it. I'm on
Myra
the edge of my
Kraft.
seat here. Myra Kraft.
Sure,
You
why
think
not?
if she's looking down on us?
That's right.
You think she won't be?
Yeah, that's right. She's going to do a Lucy. It's going to come down to a final kick, and she's going to snatch the ball away from the holder.
Like she did last time?
Yeah.
Well, that was
Well,
the-
I think she pushed it at an angle.
Everyone is blaming this kicker, but it wasn't. It was the holder. He didn't get the laces out, did he?
They weren't perfectly straight, but he wasn't kicking against the laces. I mean, he pulled that right from the get-go.
Yeah, he knew it as soon as he kicked it. He knew it was wide.
Because the camera angle. Well, you're watching the same thing I am. It's from the back of the end zone.
Right.
And sometimes with those kicks, you're not really quite sure. That one, I remember sitting there. I mean, that's pretty much like a Raven player. I was in disbelief. Wow.
I'm sitting there and I'm just going, all right, I guess we'll get him in overtime. We'll get him it's fine,
Well, yeah.
And, I'm already looking forward to it.
I'm thinking the same thing. I said, well, at least they're not losing.
Yeah.
They still got a shot.
Yeah. I'm like,
And
they'll win the toss. They'll score a touchdown. It'll be over nice and quick.
yeah.
And then he just kicks it. And I'm just going, what?
What just happened?
He just missed it, and I just start screaming. And I'm watching it by myself. I'm not even with anybody.
I was too. My wife was working.
My wife was cooking.
Oh,
I know, it's nice.
Jesus.
Oh, and she grabs my kid, and she's like, "Yeah, that's your father. He's a little nuts.
Stay away from Daddy on Sundays during football season. Give him a lot of space."
But
it's like, huh, what do you know?
It was unbelievable. And, I can't help but think back to 10 years ago. There was a little known quarterback named Tom Brady who was going into the AFC championship game, and they needed a little bit of luck in what is now known as the snowball. And they got a little bit of luck, if I remember that correctly, and
Yes.
they made it in, and
They
were not favored in that Super Bowl.
I call that for some reason the Oakland Raiders still have a bad taste in their mouth.
just a little bit. The Oakland Raiders and a certain linebacker, Pro Bowl linebacker on the Green Bay Packers, who was a linebacker, who's the one who actually hit Brady, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
Woodson.
Well, he's a cornerback.
He's not the one who hit Brady on that play. 'Cause I thought he blitzed him and he hit him.
Well, maybe, but he's not a linebacker.
In my defense, I did say linebacker. I apologize. I don't remember the game much because I was not in the country.
Yeah, you're still in diapers.
I was a junior in high school, but I was in Argentina,
Yeah.
and they didn't broadcast the playoff games. They broadcast the Super Bowl. I was able to watch that. It went out every now and again because it wasn't a great signal. And it wasn't soccer or rugby, so they didn't care. Although they love basketball down there.
Really?
Yeah, it was. So I did not get to see that game. I've only seen highlights, but that there was a little bit of luck
Yes.
if I understand the game.
Yeah. Well,
Between the tuck rule and there
Hold on a
was
second. It was Ron Woodson of the Pittsburgh Steelers that hurt Brady in that game.
that hurt Brady.
Ron Woodson, who used to be the cornerback for the Pittsburgh Steelers in the championship game, that first Super
no,
Bowl.
he's talking about the Oakland game in the,
The
snow.
Oakland, the snowball.
Yeah, he going through that. It was the next game. They went to the AFC Championship against Pittsburgh, and that's when Brady got hurt. And Bledsoe came in and finished the game and won.
Oh, it wasn't the
AFC
championship.
Yeah.
That was the division game.
Yes, it was.
Oh,
The Snowball was the division game.
Division game.
Okay.
All right. So my mistake.
God, what would we do?
I know, right?
Jeez.
This is why I want a laptop or
This
something.
guy's a font of information out there.
This is good.
And I'm
I
sure
think,
this is all coming off the top of his head, too.
No, we have actually an intern now here at SCT named Mike, and he's got an iPhone.
Oh.
And he's
It is. It's the top of his head.
so he's got the he's calling everything up. So he was actually at the game last night.
Yeah.
His family gets season tickets to the Patriots. And
Oh, he said he had season tickets.
Well, it's his
you think
dad.
he was embellishing a little?
I think it might have been.
Huh.
Well, we'll get him on the show one of these days. He's a hockey fan, and I think he'd be disappointed if we didn't switch gears.
Hey,
I
I forgot all about it, but
Well, we
Bruins
have 2 weeks before the Super Bowl.
No, but the
so we
Bruins had a hell of a game yesterday against the
I
Flyers, 6-5 shootout win.
didn't watch it.
Me
so
neither. I didn't even know about it till this morning.
I didn't know about it until the game was over, and I went, oh, well, Celtics won and the Bruins won.
The Celtics won?
The Celtics won
Yesterday?
against the Wizards.
Oh, the Wizards.
Yeah, Ray Allen went out. He got hurt, twisted an ankle.
Now that is
And Rondo's out too.
Who was?
Rondo.
Rondo and Ray Allen.
Great, just what they need.
I'll rest them. They got to be healthy for the playoffs in a month.
Yes, well, that's Rob's theory. This is all by design. Doc Rivers is tank in the first half of the year just to get these guys in shape, and then they're going to go like next to undefeated once February comes.
Well, even where they are right now, they're at least in a position that, where they could win a couple games and be the 8th seed at least.
So what?
So, if...
So for the privilege of getting their asses handed to them in the first round?
Well, and that might happen, but
If they're going to be that lousy, I just assume them get a draft pick,
Well, yeah, I agree, but...
Going to a lottery pick.
They could... Oh, that's true. That's right. They won't even guarantee a number 1 pick, will they?
No. Rick Pitino found that out the hard way. He was counting on getting Tim Duncan.
Oh, yeah.
And they ended up with, I think, the 3rd pick instead of the 1st pick, and that made a big difference.
Yeah, Duncan. He did a little bit.
That pick
here
was
and
Chauncey
there, right?
Billups, and they traded him away.
Oh, yeah. Well, they like to do that. They like to draft them, keep them for a year or two,
Yeah.
and then give them to another team so they can
I
develop
didn't even
them.
hear that Chauncey Billups got traded to the Clippers. He's on the Clippers now. I didn't even know that.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Like, how many teams has he played for now?
5 or 6.
5 or 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, God.
But he, except for the Celtics, who never really gave him much of a shot, he's played pretty well for all of those teams.
Wait. He played for the Celtics?
Not much. Not as much as he should have.
Did he play for a whole season?
Yeah.
Rookie season, about half a year, and then Pitino traded him.
Yep.
Okay, that's what you were just... Okay, I wasn't following. Wow, I didn't even know that. I don't even remember him on the Celtics at all.
No, it was... they never even gave him really an opportunity to show anything. And then
He's not a bad player.
he played very well for Denver for a number of years.
Well, that's how he ended up at the Nets. Was because
And then he was with...
Knicks.
who was... Hey, Rob, who was he
Knicks.
before Denver? Was it Detroit?
He Detroit. He won a
Detroit.
championship
Yeah.
with the
he did.
Pistons.
Yeah, so...
He played most of his, 5 years with them, didn't he?
Yes, Mr. Big Shot is his name.
Mr. Big Shot.
But he was with, I think, both Detroit and Denver, each for a few years.
Yeah.
And, would have still looked nice in Celtics green.
Yeah. Well, now he's on the Clippers.
Him and Chris Paul.
Yeah. So he has a chance to win another championship, possibly. Good for him. I like that the Clippers is the LA
if the
team
Celtics
now.
are going to be the 8th seed,
Yes, going back to that.
and
Well, here's my thing is
I
they've
just assume
been-
them.
They've been talking about it, leading up. As soon as the lockout ended, they're going, well, this shortened season with the, 66 games, it's going to be hardest on the older teams. And save for Rondo, I don't remember the exact number. I read it in Sports Illustrated, though. They are one of the oldest teams at like 30, an average age of like 34.
34?
Yeah. It's up
Wow,
there.
that means their bench is old too.
No, starting 5.
Oh, okay.
Besides Rondo. So, they're old.
Yeah, I know.
There's
Well, that's what I've been yapping
So-
about.
well, yeah.
Allen, Garnett, and Pierce leaving in a short period of time.
I think they have this season. If they don't win a championship this season, unless they go to a
Garnett
championship.
and Ray Allen are up this year. Their contracts are up at the end of this season.
Pierce has one more after that.
Pierce has one more after that.
So,
They're
I
in
mean-
7th place.
And they've got a playoff berth right now if the season
Oh,
ended.
God.
But no, I
Jesus.
don't disagree with Rob entirely. I don't know that it's necessarily by design that he's sucking in the first half. I think it's more he's resting his older guys more than he normally would if it was a regular season. And you're looking at Garnett, who gets injured quite often, so he should not be playing a whole lot of minutes if he is, because we don't want him to get hurt. If he gets hurt again and he can't play in the playoffs, assuming we make the playoffs, then we're never going to advance, period. You got to have the big 3 and Rondo healthy. That's 4 of the starting 5.
It would have been nice, too, if they had somebody like a Kendrick Perkins to play center for them.
That would be nice.
I
Who do they have,
never
Jermaine O'Neal?
I don't know who they're dragging out there. I
Jermaine
never liked
O'Neal
that trade. Never liked it.
I don't. I don't.
He knew
I don't
his
like it.
He
but-
knew his spot on that team.
Perkins?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think he filled that role quite well.
You know, and I was equally as upset to see Nate Robinson go with him. I liked him. I know he didn't put up big numbers, but he was quick. He was small. He was like a Muggsy Bogues. I loved it. And then the combo of him and Big Baby. You know, not that Baby did a whole lot, and he's not doing anything in Orlando either.
Baby would be a decent role player.
But and that Perkins, and that was sad. And I heard a rumor in the offseason that maybe they were gonna try and get him back. But why would, who is it? Charlotte who has him now?
He's with
Orleans?
Oklahoma
City.
Hey, we're about ready to wrap it up, you guys.
Oh, we didn't even get
Okay.
to hockey, so
Good.
sorry, Mike. But
Well, we did. Bruins.
Bruins won.
They had a
they're
tough
in
loss
first or second
against
place, depending on a couple points.
against the Rangers on Saturday afternoon. They lost it with 3.6 seconds to go
But they lost
in
it
overtime.
in overtime.
Well, they got a point.
They did get a point, so they
But-
were only 2 points back at that point.
Yeah,
How,
well,
did the
I think
Rangers
they
win
had
or lose?
and I think they had one game in hand. I don't know if the Rangers played yesterday or not.
All right.
But
So they're first and second. They're fighting.
but it's too bad because they've had a real good record with shootouts, and
Yeah.
4 more seconds they would have got to that point in the Rangers game. But
Yeah.
hey,
is what it
anyways,
is,
well,
so-
hey, I'd like to thank our underwriters
Yep.
and ask our viewers to pay attention to these guys. Got Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Anything good you want to drink, pretty much Coke sells it.
That's true.
And Kinlan Grover, largest, I think the most highest volume realtor on the Cape.
Probably
And
safe.
and Howard Floor Covering, right, not far from where we are.
Heritage Floor.
Heritage Flooring, right?
Her-
right in Heritage Park there.
Yeah, for 130. And I know we got some flooring there, a year or two ago, and it was great stuff. It looked like hardwood, but it ain't hardwood.
Nice.
But everybody thinks it's hardwood, which is the point. And but no, I mean, good price, good people. Hey, can't
Absolutely.
beat them.
So, I guess that's the end of our show. And
For this week.
For this week.
All right.
We'll see you next week. And don't forget to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Duke of Sports. If you want to talk sports with us, we also have an email address, dukesofsports@gmail.com. And so for Dukes of Sports, I'm Andrew Eaton.
I'm same guy I was when we started, Randy Lively. And we'll be back same time, same place next week. Have a good week, everyone. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod is proud to support community TV and the Dukes of Sports. Some of the refreshing and satisfying products offered by Coca-Cola are Coke, Diet Coke, Coke Zero, Sprite, Fanta, Dr. Pepper, Moxie, Dasani Water, Powerade, Minute Maid Juices, Vitamin Water, Fuse, V8, and Honest Tea. 125 years and still teaching the world to sing.
Kinlan Grover Real Estate sells and lists more property than any other real estate company on Cape Cod and is pleased to support community television and the Dukes of Sports. With 15 offices from the Canal to Provincetown, our experienced and professional agents get the job done whether you are buying or selling. We also offer summer vacation rentals and can assist in mortgage financing, serving the most buyers and sellers across the entire Cape. Check us out at kinlangrover.com.
Heritage Floor Covering located in Heritage Park off Route 130 Sandwich. When you look down, we look good. Carpet, vinyl, tile, and laminates, sales, service, and installation. 40 years of experience. Browse our spacious and extensive showroom. Cheryl and Russell are fully insured and offer free estimates. We sell the best and you pay less. 508-833-7600.